All right, Libra, welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works and we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength on this reading, check your other major placements. Major placements are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We're going to start off with the Botanical Inspirations deck for a little vibe, and then we're going to move on to a regular tarot reading, a more traditional spread. Let's see. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. It's very helpful and useful for me. And so these botanical inspirations are old Victorian illustrations of flowers, and then the sort of I put those back in. And now it's probably not going to give me anything. It's like, you ungrateful, spaced out lady. Anyway, and then this Victorian interpretations of what these flowers mean, so you can communicate with people by giving them a flower. I don't know, sounds like a lot of memorization, but it also sounds kind of cute. Like, it reminds me of some of those fun games we play on, no, I'm taking them. I'm not putting them back. Oh shit, this card. I'm gonna start blushing just talking about this card. Okay, well we have, oh my God. These two cards together are a little intense. So we have Red Rose here. So Red Rose, hidden secrets. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Attributed to Buddha. And then we have, and obviously I'm partial to the red rose. Really love a nice red rose. Although I do have a bouquet of white roses blooming right now. I like white roses. I like them all. I love them all. So red rose here. And then we have also, this is not a rose, but it's called tuberose. And the quote, it's called Dangerous Pleasure. The quote is, the secret of reaping the greatest fruitfulness and the greatest enjoyment from life is to live dangerously. And that's Nietzsche, a favorite of mine. And also, so the tuberose is actually a very interesting flower. I ended up looking it up. And so in the Victorian area, the tuberose, and something about Marie Antoinette, it was like her flower or something like that. And I just recently was reading about her, and she's not what she seems. She was like nouveau riche. And so a lot of her defensiveness about that comes from having just acquired that status and not having been born fully into it. I think that's what I was reading. Anyway. A bunch of books and movies were all around her somehow. So Dangerous Pleasure. So this, in the Victorian era, it was a very taboo flower. And it was all about sexuality and sex and pleasure, and it was very taboo. But they were picking up on something because a couple decades ago, more research was done on this flower, and they found 2 interesting things. One is that the scent that it gives off at night is totally different than the scent it gives off during the day. And one of the chemicals it gives off in its night scent is the same chemical our skin emits when we orgasm. So I think that's a very fascinating flower. So the Victorians were actually onto something. They weren't just totally batshit crazy. I mean, there's some batshit crazy stuff in there for sure, but they were actually onto something that it took science a while to figure out and to actually, verify and understand. So it's a pretty intense sex rose, or sex flower, like Dangerous Pleasure, and then Hidden Secrets. My goodness. Libra. All right, Libra. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Thank God. I was worried we'd get a lot of wands or something, and I'd just start blushing all over again. Okay, in your recent past is this Hermit energy. This is taking time out, as we all have done, to follow your own path, taking some time to get in touch with who you are, get in touch with what you want out of life, and following your own path step by step with your own inner guidance. It's really funny. I don't think I've ever gotten the Hermit card in a recent past, in this is already done energy. So the Hermit card here is St. Francis of Assisi. And how do we become St. Francis of Assisi? It is not by doing everything exactly as we're told to do it. It's by following our own inner heart. Like, how did he find out he could speak to animals? Certainly not by sitting in class and getting straight A's. That is not how he found out he could talk to animals. It was by following his own heart, taking some time out. This Hermit card, it can be a lot about taking time out from our roles, our labels, everything, our expectations, all the expectations put on us, to really find out who we are. And there's something about the Hermit card about not looking to others to create a consensual reality situation. So, I mean, we're not talking about consent in the sexual sense here, which is very important, but reality is often like just a consensual delusion, a delusion that we all have together, or something that we all have together. Not that science isn't real or anything like that, but in another sense, like all these cultural habits and cultural things. So it can be taking time out of that, away from that, to figure out what's real to you. And that can be a very frightening, terrifying journey, because many of us, we're social creatures. We want to fit in with our society. In the ancient past, in our DNA, in our blood, we understand that not fitting in with society could actually be a very dangerous, almost deadly thing. So many of us want to fit into society and work really hard to do that. But going out on your own here, getting in touch with what you think is real, what your experiences mean, all of that, setting aside the group delusion for your own private delusion, and following that. I mean, why not? How is your private delusion? And the system we have right now actually allows that movement and allows for that without risking our lives, without risking rejection from the group that helps sustain us, right? So we can actually do that now and the only risk is sort of is emotional, social, and not necessarily our lives, right? So we can do that now, and it looks like you have taken advantage of our modern society and our ability to sort of break away from some of these things and inspect our own ideas and definitions of reality. So, and it could be a lot simpler than that. It could just be figuring out what you wanted in a situation, figuring out what you thought, what you wanted, taking steps, slow going, little bit by bit, little slow going, uncovering, this light doesn't shine, it's not a spotlight, it's not the sun, it's just a little lantern. So it's just revealing step by step. So you may have, gone through this sort of, and it is a little bit of surrender too. Like, what am I going to find out here in these dark woods, like, of my own psyche? Like, what am I going to find that I want? And just following that path. It reminds me of the Lion Tracker's Guide to Life, a really cool book about lion tracking. But just step by step, not necessarily needing to have the overall plan or following the overall rules, but step by step on tracking what you want, tracking the path that your own heart has laid down for you. And it might be several steps ahead of you, but then your life follows that a little bit. So if that makes sense. And then in your current situation, you're having this Ace of Swords. This is truth coming in. This could be communication starting, a new communication. We have this Eight of Wands here, but this would be like, this is in reverse, so that would be not communicating. But some sort of clarity, some sort of understanding. That wand is ideas, intellect, communication, clarity, a new way of communicating, some sort of new communication coming in here, or a new understanding. The Ace of Swords is often an epiphany. This is a divine epiphany. It changes everything. There's a new change, a new life. We have the butterfly always depicted in these ace cards, reminding us that this is sort of a new phase, a new life cycle, a new part of the life cycle. And so some sort of epiphany happened, or is happening, or is about to happen. You're on the cusp. You've followed your own path, and it looks like it's leading you into some sort of like epiphany or truth. And you were willing to leave the freeway and go off the main highway of the easy route, the main route that everybody's on right now, and go off and find your own truth. And what it led you to is this Ace of Swords, this epiphany, this new understanding of some situation, which is going to start a whole new situation for you. It sort of seems divinely guided, like you were meant to understand this and see this. I'm seeing like a piercing of the crown chakra here, because we do have a crown, literally. It's so funny how you can see these cards again and again, and then that's what I love. And then you just see something suddenly. There's a crown on this sword here. So it could be a very spiritual, intellectual clarity coming in here. Understanding. Look, her crown chakra is even lit up right here in this dark purple, which is right. So some sort of really clear epiphany coming in here. Either it has or it hasn't, and it's only coming in, I think, because you were willing to go off on your own and do something a little bit unusual and a little bit weird, but that your heart was calling you to do. Your hope is Chariot, things coming together and moving fast, very, very quickly together. There's some sort of sense of destiny. I think you might be hoping to rendezvous with your destiny here with some sort of moment of destiny, moment of truth, leading this team, moving forward, seeing, maybe even getting a glimpse of your destiny. This could be actual moving, an actual trip, an actual or just things coming together and moving very quickly. You might be, this Ace of Swords comes in hot, straight, true, and you might be like, let's go, let's move it, let's get going. And that's what you're hoping for. I'm watching Ben-Hur right now, and there's a lot of chariots in Ben-Hur, and it's 3.5 hours long, so I'm breaking it up into more palatable chunks. So anyway, I just have the Ben-Hur imagery right here. And his route's a little circuitous, and there's definitely some casting issues. But the acting's really amazing. Just in case you ever wanted to watch Ben-Hur. I don't know why you would, but it's a really good movie. Yeah, so far. I'm liking it, although it's got a lot of weird elements to it. So anyway, this Chariot, you're hoping, maybe you've been hoping for some fast movement, because this Hermit card can be a little slow, a little pokey, because you got to go step by step, like, okay, all right, my path leads here. Okay, oh my gosh, my path leads here. All right, okay, my path leads here. So you've been sort of breadcrumbing along this path by yourself, solo. You've got a great idea. You've got some sort of inspiration, some sort of insight, almost divinely guided epiphany. You want to move fast on this. That's what you're hoping for. Maybe you're worried, though. You could be worried that this could be going too fast. I don't know if I'm ready for this to go this fast right now. What's the issue here is Eight of Wands. Mixed messages, things not coming, it's in reverse. So it's messages not coming in, maybe messages that you don't want, maybe slow moving messages, maybe missed messages, mixed messages. This would definitely be a time to check your messages, check all your emails, all your messaging things, make sure the mail didn't fall back behind somewhere, make sure you opened it. Always open your mail as soon as it enters the house, and then decide what to do with it, but at least you're aware of it, right? Checking your email, checking your messages. There could be mixed messages coming in here. There's just like not the clarity you were wanting. This Chariot has you wanting to move forward really fast. This can be like no action, no movement. What you want is to move forward, get things all lined up and move forward really quickly in sync. But this is holding things up. There's no messages. There's no information here. You got this, but it's not spiritual. Like sometimes this can be interpreted as like spiritual messages coming in. But here we have, this is your spiritual message. This is your epiphany, your understanding, your clear message sort of from the heavens here coming in. And then this is like no communication, mixed communication, confused about the communication not coming in. It could be just you wanting to move and this saying you can't move. You can't move. There's no movement here. You want to move. Well, that's why you want to move. That's why that's in your hopes, because there's no movement here. Or there's no communication. There's a message you've been waiting for. It's not coming. It's not coming. That's what's causing a problem here. In your environment, you have the Devil card. So you could be dealing with someone who's dealing with addiction issues. Leo just got this. Or you could have someone who's just not in your environment, who is not in touch with who they are within. They're not in touch with, this could be someone in your environment who's just addicted to something, or something has come between them and their higher self. So that a devil makes, right? or some really destructive energy, some karmic energy here, where some sort of impurities are needing to be burned off in somebody. They're needing. I mean that like they're needing to work through a bunch of shit that's really painful and awful, so that they can come forward. Or there's just some sort of addictive issue or some sort of issue in your environment that's either trying to separate you from this Hermit card here, right? You going out on your own path, being alone, and then it sits right over this Devil card. So I feel that the Hermit card is very spiritual. It's when we really get in touch with our own path, and we go slow, and it reveals itself to us. This Devil energy sits right underneath it, and this is, to me, is always about something trying to separate you from where you're supposed to be going. Like, this all seems like you're being divinely guided. You decided to take a step out. You decided to go be yourself and figure out who that is by yourself, right? Take some time out. And then here we have this spiritual guidance wanting to bring you somewhere, trying to bring you somewhere. It's not quite working out because something's stopping it. Something's trying to separate you. I don't really get the feeling usually of like somebody, maybe the secrets card is somebody else has secrets that they're keeping from you, and that's keeping you from your next step forward. But I don't really get like, like spiritual attack energy, but that's a little bit of what this feels like. But it doesn't have to be like so, I don't know. So like Christian in the idea of like demons attacking and all of that, like, and generally I'm just grateful for the general spiritual protection I enjoy in my life right now, but so I'm just grateful for that. But this also looks like maybe somebody coming in trying to separate you from your path, maybe some sort of something coming in here trying to separate you from your path, trying to make sure you don't get on it, or that you don't. Because the devil is whatever separates us from our higher self. So there's something in your environment that's like trying to separate you from your path here. Or trying to interfere with something that's supposed to be yours. Some deep connection with yourself, with your higher self. There's something trying to separate you from that. It could be some sort of addictive energy. It could be someone else's addictive energy. You may be dealing with codependent energy in yourself that's being triggered by somebody else's addictive energy and trying to support someone or allowing someone to go down that path. It could be someone else that's having this energy and bringing in this devil energy. And maybe that's what's keeping these wands out here is... and then your to-do list is the 6 of coins. So balance, fairness. I mean, of course, Libra, balance. And then you go into 9 of coins. I love this. Okay, so 6 of coins here. We're talking about some generosity, some balance, some, I want to say magnanimity, like just being fair, even, steady. Comes underneath this Ace of Swords. So you've had some sort of epiphany, some sort of realization about something. Some sort of new beginning here that changes something, some sort of realization, some sort of epiphany or understanding, or maybe even communication that changes something. And then your to-do list here is a 6 of coins. It's just being fair, giving people what they're due, giving people, because you're being bedeviled by something. And I don't know if this directly corresponds to that, but you're supposed to bring in some sort of generosity. Keep that generous wheel going. Make sure that you're open to receive and make sure that you're open to give, right? So we want to keep that flowing. We want to keep that. Reminds me of sort of a water wheel or a water mill where the more water flows through it, the more water flow, the faster it moves, right? So keeping sort of this generosity going, receiving, giving, receiving, asking for help where you need it possibly, being fair. There's a lot of fairness here in the 6 of coins. But also, I don't want to say generosity like a flippant generosity or a over generosity. I'm talking like a well calculated generosity. You're not just throwing money around. You've thought about it, you've planned about it, and you've come out here to clearly. You've come out here with the purpose to give. So you're giving something of yourself, or you're giving something in the real world. And you've come here to do this. I'm almost getting like a sense here of the Six of Coins, of a strong sense of purpose. And you're here to give something or do something. And you've thought about it. And you've calculated it. And you've calculated how much you can give. And it's a very conscious, intentional giving. This is a Six of Coins is a very intentional card. And really thought about it. So you're giving something that you've really thought about with a lot of intention. And then where you're going is this Nine of Coins. So this is my entrepreneur, my female entrepreneur. She comes off as very female, although usually in these decks, obviously the genders can apply to anybody. They're just, we have to depict a person. It would be really interesting to have a completely gender neutral deck, or non-gendered, where all the people are not gendered, and it's not kings and queens, it's something else, and it would be interesting. I would play with that deck for sure. So Nine of Coins here, this is coming into your own power, your own wealth, your own, she owns it. This is my widow Clicquot. She owns the business. She owns the company. She's worked hard for this, and she's the business owner. This is my sole proprietor, business owner energy, where her success is all her success. She's done the work. She's in charge. She's hunting her prey. She's got this bird of prey here. So she's like, she can send that out to get anything she wants. It's almost like having a lot of control over her life, having a lot of say, having a lot of power, and having her own money, having her own business. Her success is definitely just her own. And we have these two solo cards that bookend this. We have the Hermit card, heading out on your own adventure, step by step, and then we end up with this sole proprietor card, this owner of a business, a success. It's like this success is all yours. Maybe you were hoping for a team, but I don't know that that's going to happen. Give somebody what they're due. And then you're on your own still here at the end here, but you're successful. So you start off in this Hermit card on a quest for something, for some sort of truth, for some sort of understanding. You were hoping for teamwork, you were hoping for communication, you were hoping for something, but instead it's just like, okay, take care of business here in the Six of Coins. Be intentional with your business, intentional with your donations, or intentional with your money. And then we come here with this sole proprietor, happy, very successful card. So it looks like you set out here on a journey, on a quest for something, and you end up very successful. And you kind of do it all yourself. Like, it's just like the team from the Chariot doesn't show up. The communication doesn't show up. Somebody's distracted here. Whatever communication you were hoping for, someone got distracted. Oh, cool. All right. So the Six of Coins card. Oh, I moved to the Wild Kuan Yin deck. It's my new favorite oracle deck. So this is what I'm seeing here. We're seeing this one. Look at, she's holding this. She's holding this pomegranate or fruit of some kind in her hand. It's winter here, but she has it. She has something in her hand. And it's reminding me of the Six of Coins, of just being open to give and being open to receive. It's not clutched. It's not clung to. It's there's an openness here, a holding what's yours, but not clinging to it. An ability to let go of what you need to let go very, very calculatedly here. you know, it's almost reminding me of like sorting through your stuff and deciding what to donate and what to keep. Because of the level of calculation here and the level of thought. It's not just throwing money at something, it's really thinking about what you're going to give away, what you're letting go of, and what you're keeping, and that's the Six of Coins. That's the way I'm getting that card right now. And then here we have this gentle holding of something. It could be taken away, could be given away, could be held on to for a long time. There's not a clinging here, but there is a winter here, so there's sort of this pause. So winter always has this paused energy to me in these cards. So, and this is what it says. It's called Keeping It Simple. Your mind may convince you that manifesting your destiny is more difficult or complex than it needs to be. Here we have you in search of manifesting your destiny. Yet the guidance of the Divine Mother is to keep things simple. Do what you can do, let go of everything else. So that's where I'm getting this. Doing what you can do, letting go of everything else, being intentional with what you do, and letting go of the rest. And then I find this manifesting your destiny. You start off looking for something and you end up there, having achieved it, having achieved what you set out to do. So yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of a beautiful card. All right, Libra, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and your comments. I very much appreciate them, and I hope you have a wonderful week.